What's happening, everybody? Dr. Earl here. I'm in an empty dining room right now, about to head home in a while, but before I do that, I figure I'd make this little video here commencing the 20th anniversary or 20th marking of the passing of WWE superstar Owen Hart. It was on this day in Kansas City at the Kipper Arena that Owen Hart, performing as the Blue Blazer, was to be repelled from the rafters onto the ring to face the Godfather. Somehow, for some oddball reason, the rope broke, the cord or the cable, whichever that was supposed to lower him down safely, broke. Owen eventually fell onto the mat, busting his head open and dying instantly. Now, for those who didn't really know much of the story here, and I heard a couple of interviews from Vince Russo describing the whole idea. Apparently what it was, he got the idea for, it was apparently his idea. Reporting what it was is that he got a call from the building of, I guess what they call the Director of Building Operations, Steve Taylor, saying, hey, the guys from WCW who repel Sting from the rafters down to the mat want to know if they could do the same for our company. Russo eventually checked the whole script and the scheduling of the superstars that were going to wrestle that night for this particular pay-per-view, the Over the Edge event that night. They noticed Owen Hart was the Blue Blazer. Russo said, tell you what, let's come up with an idea. Let's give Owen, as the Blue Blazer, the superhero entrance that he deserves. Now, there's something else here that has to be pointed out, and Russo did point this out in a couple of interviews, one of them on Roddy Piper's podcast a couple of years back. I guess it was in 2014, I remember. Apparently, Russo originally came up with this idea that he had this boyhood crush on Deborah McMichael, who at the time was involved with Double J, Jeff Jarrett, the Chosen One. The idea was, let's have, have Deborah McMichael get fed up with Double J's bullshit at the time, mistreating women and all that stuff. And Owen, who was his partner, tag team partner, I guess, at that time, have a boyhood crush on Deborah McMichael, who eventually later on became Mrs. Stone Cold Steve Austin for a couple of years. Russo offered this idea to Owen, and Owen said, thanks, but no thanks. My wife Martha would be very, very upset. He was a family dude. He didn't want to upset his wife or come up with that or go with something like that. Because you remember when Shawn Michaels did that Sunny Days promo on Bret Hart, his older brother, Bret's wife got really upset, thinking that, oh, is Bret cheating on me with Tammy Cinch, a.k.a. Sunny? That caused a lot of disturbance within the Hart residence for sure for a while. I remember hearing stories about that. Now, eventually, word probably must have got back to Vince McMahon and his cohorts, and that's because he refused this angle. He was be punished as the Blue Blazer, something like a Saturday morning cartoon character. Which, by the way, was how Owen first entered the WWF, as it was called at that time. Eventually, they would ditch that dumb gimmick, and Owen Hart, the Rocket, was born for a while. He eventually would later turn on his brother, saying, Brett's always getting all the credit, and why I get nothing? It's always Brett. Ugh. Any fans of the old WWF will recall that storyline. The sibling rivalry intake. Or better yet, the old sibling rivalry scenario. My bad. I'm fumbling my words again. Eventually, they put him back as the Blue Blazer for a while. Now, while everybody blamed Vince Russo and Vince McMahon for what happened with Owen, I'm surprised anybody has yet to even question the rigging crew from WCW. Remember, Owen's life was in their hands. They were the ones eventually responsible for his well-being. They were supposed to rappel him down safely. We have yet to hear any statements or any words from them, those guys. Let alone, we don't even know the name of the company that they represent or work for. So, anybody who's still thinking that Russo or McMahon are held accountable for what happened to Owen, think about what I just said. Also question the rigging crew. So, and it's sad because, he was for a while also a member of the five-man Hart Foundation around that time. He also briefly was a member of the Nation of Domination, along with Brian Crush Adams, who also is no longer with us. So, I'm going to end this here, And, oh, by the way, since that incident at Kipper Arena, Sting himself kind of excluded the idea of being rappelled down from the rafters. That kind of stopped for a long while and has not been done since, believe it or not. I'm going to end this with this little salute to you, Owen. This is for you, man. You were one of the best. Your brother misses you, and I know Jim the Anvil, the British Bulldog, David Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman are up with you right now. And I do know that your brother Brett misses you more than ever. Here's to you, Owen. I'm Dr. Earl. Thank you for watching. Leave any comments and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Have a good one.